feel like recording today because I'm in one of those moods. Not a good mood. One of those moods where I just feel like yapping. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I have no purpose in this world, like I don't belong. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel a disconnect between me and everyone else. Like I don't belong at all. Like, yeah, I have friends and whatnot, we hang out, but at the end of the day, when I come back home alone, I don't feel like, wow, I'm glad I went out with them. I gained so much that I could not gain by my own. There's always like a sense of, I don't know what it is, like a regret, or like, it's like, it's not like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know if I belong with those group of people. It's just, I don't know what it is. The game's lagging. I don't know. It feels like I think very differently from others. Not to say like I'm special or anything, but I don't know. I never belonged. Back in primary school, I guess technically still now, I still have selective mutism, or I don't know what it's called. Select mutism. So like I never really enjoyed talking to a lot of people. The teachers were always pushing me like, oh, you gotta talk more, man. It's abnormal for you to not be sociable. But then I look at everyone else. They're loud as heck, being disruptive, and the teacher's like, okay, you guys need to be more quiet. You guys need to be more like Trevor. And I'm thinking, okay, well that's kind of like hypocritical, or like kind of like a bit oxymoronic that you want me to talk more, but you want other people to talk less and emulate my. I don't know what it is. It's like a self-serving thing, you know. It's like whenever it's convenient, I want you to be like Trevor. Whenever it's, I don't know. I've never really vibed with anyone. I don't really share a lot of interests with anyone. Like, I mean, I know it's not like I'm special or anything. Like, I was never into sports or anything. Like, I know a lot of young boys at the time, like myself, aren't interested in that sort of thing. Like everyone is interested in sports and cars and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, cars are cool and whatnot, but I'm not gonna like, oh yes, this is a GTR year 2002 with, I don't know, like they have like they have memorized all the specs and everything. It's like you can truly see that they're passionate about the thing. And I don't know, for me, it was never like that. I never really cared much about anything. I live in my own world, that's about it. Because I don't vibe with the real world. I don't know. It's like, I know I'm gonna sound like a fucking, like one of those cranky old adults. Like, oh, these young people, I don't like them. That's because I don't like them. It's like nowadays everyone's on their phones. Like, I know, like I'm not exempt from it. I'm also a young lad. I too, I'm playing this video game right now. Like everyone's always on their phones. There's not really any more social aspects anymore. It's like when you're eating, like just put the phone down and like, I don't know, focus on eating. Like, you know. But like every time I'm out with people, like they like to dilly dally and waste time is what I think it is. Or it's like how I perceive it to be. It's like, okay, we eat, and then we can hurry up and leave. Like go, like if we're in a mall, like we don't want to just sit down at a place and just dilly dally and waste our time. Like I want to eat and like maybe go walk around or something. But these guys, they just like to take it at their own pace, I guess. I don't know what it is. It's like, oh, they'll sit down and they'll take like 1 to 1.5 hours just to eat because they're always scrolling up through like TikToks or Instagram reels or whatever. It's like it's kind of like the brain rot shit. I don't like that. It's like, I don't know, man. Just focus on eating and socializing and talking. Like you can scroll through your reels at any time, but I don't know. When you're out, it's like, I don't know, be more courteous to others. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't really vibe with the new generation way of socializing. It's like I look at all of my quote unquote friends, they're always like, oh, check out what this guy posted on Instagram. And it's like scrolling through shorts, and it's like there's one interesting video, they tap, 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 and share it to one friend, and then they scroll, and then they find another video that's like, haha, that's kind of funny, and then I share it with like two other friends, and then they keep scrolling. Hey, there's an interesting video. I want to share it to another three specific friends. It's like, I don't know. Doesn't strike me as a very genuine way of making friends. Or, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Can't get the dog. Yeah. And like when it comes to, like, I understand I have a very cynical way of looking at things. It's like, if I want it done, I want it done this way. Like, stop wasting time. Like, everything's pointless. Like, just do this, do that. Like, I know I'm quite cynical as a person, but I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like people don't take things seriously. Maybe I'm taking things too seriously and not just having fun living in the moment, but like, I feel like people don't take things seriously enough. It's like, yeah, there's a time for fun and games, but when it comes to work, like school work and projects and whatnot, I firmly expect you to be serious about it and, do your part and not throw everything to me. That's why I hate group projects. It's because it feels like no one takes it seriously. It's always like, I don't want to be like too, what's the word, arrogant, claiming that I do everything like no one else. We've lost the game. Yeah, I don't want to be too arrogant and be like, oh, nobody contributes anything, but it feels like to me that the work that they submit is like put together in a very slipshod manner. It's like there's no sense of quality control or care put into their work. Feels like, all right, Trevor told me to do this. He's like badgering me about it, so let's just do it so that he'll shut the fuck up. This is the vibe that I'm getting from most people. And like, yeah, I can yap more about my real life experiences on that, but let's just put the yap on hold for now. But yeah, every time I'm like, hey, can you do this? And they're like, oh, okay. And like 2 days later, I'm like, hey, what the fuck? You haven't done that yet. And they're like, chill, relax, dude. Like, there's still time. I was like, no, fuckface, get it done now. It's like, and the latest we have ever cut it was like fucking 2 hours before the deadline, and like I still have to like put together the presentation video and whatnot. And I know like by most people's standards, they're like, those are rookie numbers. Like, I have gone way past the deadline, but I don't know. Feels particularly cunty. I'm like a disciplined kind of guy. I want to get things done before deadlines. Don't know if that makes me weird or anything. But yeah. So it's like, I always tell people to get things done, and they know what my sentiment towards work is, and I feel like they kind of take advantage of me. They're like, well, if I don't do it, Trevor's gonna do it, so like, might as well just not do it and let him do all the work. Because I know for a fact that's how my friends feel. They like to walk all over me like that. When they feel like it. If they feel like doing the work, hey, they'll do the work. But if they don't, they'll be like, let Trevor do it. I don't know, that's just a particularly cunty way of approaching things, and I don't like that. Not one bit. And like, wait, this isn't hard mode, what am I doing? Fuck it. It's like, I don't know if like I'm being too harsh on people, or if like I just have too high of a standard. But it feels like a lot of people are dumb. I'm not trying to put this in like a derogatory way, like putting down others like, yo, you're so stupid. Like, no, I'm stupid. We're all stupid. We're humans. But it's like, a lot of them, they either don't care, or they really are just that, like, dim-witted. Because it feels like a lot of them can't understand simple instructions. It's like, if I'm requesting someone in the group work, or anyone for that matter, even like talking to lecturers and whatnot, and I'll be like, hey, I'll structure my request properly. Like, okay, my name is so and so, this is my number. Like, if I'm talking to lecturers, like, this is my number. Like, and then I'll put my request like, I'll like say, oh, the door to my dorm room is not working. Can you like come fix it? And then they'll be like, what's your room number? And I'm like, motherfucker. That's like the first thing I've mentioned to you is my name, my room number, and then my request. Like, do you not read? It's like, I don't know if they're taking the piss. They are taking the piss. They're taking too much piss, in fact. It really rives me. It's like, can you not fucking read? It's like, this is your job, is to cater to our problems, and like, I know there are a lot of asshole students that like are just like, it's your job, like I don't care, and then they'll kind of be like, I don't know, like approach them in like a very aggressive kind of way, like, oh, I want things to be done now. But for me, it's like, I understand, I'm respectful, at least I think I am. Like, I say please and thank you. Like, it's like, can you not just read? Like, I don't know what it is. People have a hard time listening to instructions, or like reading passages. So which is why I usually condense my messages down. Like, okay, so this is the scope of assignment. First, I need you to do A. Do this. B. Do this. C. Do this. I space it all out. It's not one like hard to read paragraph. But people will always private message me and be like, hey, so what do I need to do? And it's like, I'm always like, please do A, make sure not to do B. And the work that they submit, what do I see? They fucking give me B. I don't know what it is. Like, it's like I'm not using like crazy flowery language. It's like, I don't know. They just like do not care enough to read, or they just don't read, or they just can't read. I don't know what it is. The sentiment that I get from a lot of people is that they're fucking dumb. And I don't vibe with that. I don't know what it is. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this. I'm not saying everyone's dumb. Like, obviously, you remember the dumb ones more than the good ones. Like, obviously, there are good ones that are like, okay, they submitted everything perfectly on schedule. That's exactly what I wanted. Well done. And like, I give no more thought to it because, you know, only the bad things stand out in human memory. I think. I'm fairly certain. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's a disconnect between me and everyone. It's like they either don't want to understand me or they just don't care enough to understand me. Or it's like they can't understand me at all, no matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I reiterate myself and whatnot. There's like one other friend in my group, and she has like, I'm not being derogatory in any way, she has like a minor disability, a minor hearing disability. So like that affects her speech and her hearing. And it's like no matter what I say to her, she cannot understand me. Like no matter how much I repeat myself, no matter how much I say it louder or slower or like changing my inflections, like for the love of God, it feels like she cannot understand me. Like at all. And like I always have to get someone else to relay what I say to her. And then she'll be like, oh, I understand now. It's like, am I being unclear? Like I feel like I'm saying the same thing. It feels like they're saying the same thing back to her, but for whatever reason, she just cannot understand me. I don't know why. It's things like these that keep making me feel disconnected from everyone else. It's like, am I doing something wrong? Like, I feel like I'm being clear. Like, I don't know. That's why I never really vibed with anyone. It feels like they just don't get me, no matter how hard I try. It just feels like they don't reciprocate my intentions. The thing is, like, some people do have a very cunty way of approaching things. Lost the game. Yeah. And I want to yap one last segment. Some people have a very cunty way of approaching things, you know. It's like, I'll get the bare minimum done. That's it. I'm fairly certain I already said that. It's like, I'll get the bare minimum done, that's it. And yeah. So there was this project that was like 5 people. 2 of them, well, 5 people including me, so me working with 4 other people, and 2 of them, yeah, I chose to group up with them because I'm close with them, but the other 2 are like, I'm not close with them at all. I don't know them, but like they were essentially coaxed into joining our group to fulfill like the number requirement of like 5 people per group. So it's like, okay, I'll tell them to do things and they just don't care. It's like they don't like me. They just don't care enough to do things. It's like, alright, that's kind of cunty, but if I tell you to do something, they do it, but the quality is just so bad, like just so horrendous. Like it is unacceptable. To the point where I had to stay up all night until 6 in the morning to just fix everything that they have done. And class starts at like 8. So it's like essentially I have to get up and start going to school at like 7. So I had like 10-20 minutes of sleep that day just to fix their slipshod work. And obviously kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, okay, you're kind of a cunt for submitting such a slipshod work, and me having to stay up all night while you get a good night's sleep. And then we all get the same grade at the end of the day. So it's like, a lot of people, they don't feel grateful. It's like, I would feel grateful. Like, I'm sorry that the work that I submitted was not up to your standards. I'm sorry that you had to stay up all night to fix, or like to remedy my issues. So like, thank you, and I'm sorry, and please let me know what I can do to help next time. Like, that's how I would approach it. But these guys, it's like, they not only have the goal to get, or like they not only have the goal to not be like at least remotely thankful, but they also have like the goal to be mad at you. Cause like, understandably, justifiably so, I was very slightly pissed that they get to sleep and get like the same grade as me, even though they put in like a fraction of the work. So like, I never say it to them in their I never say it to their face. I never say it directly to their face, but like, I always say it loud enough to the point where it's like, oh, these guys don't do anything. Like I whine and veg, like, these guys don't do anything. And obviously they hear me, and they actually get upset at me, like, how dare this guy get upset at me for not doing anything. And they don't like me anymore. It's like, after that project, they have never spoken to me since. It's like, I mean, yeah, sure, I don't care. I won't lose sleep over our relationship. Like, if you don't like me, that's fine. I don't like you either. But it's like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, you can choose to not like me. Like, that's fine and all, but the way I would approach it is like, I'm really sorry that, yeah, I'll be apologetic, And it feels like a lot of people aren't anymore. It feels like they've lost, I don't know what it is, their manners. It's like, they don't thank you, they don't apologize. It's like, this generation, not part of this generation. Yeah, but I feel very disconnected from this generation, Like, a lot of them feel very disingenuous, very insincere in their method of thinking and approaching things. And like, the very few times that people actually thank me, believe it or not, some of them actually thanked me. Like, some of them like, oh, thank you, Trevor, like, that's so sweet of you for you to do this. I feel so bad. And I'm actually touched. Like, holy shit, you actually thanked me for once. Finally, some people that still have a sense of morale or something. And it's just small things like these, that I kind of still enjoy, but the majority of it's lost, The majority of it is lost. And it's like, even simple things like queuing up. Like, okay, I understand, like, I don't want to get into people's personal space. Like, if I queue up, I'm gonna like stand a little far back. But some people don't care. It's like they're talking with their friends. They're like bang into you. It's like, yeah, and they'll get all into your personal space and breathe down your neck in a queue. It's like, and some people cut in line and whatnot. Like cunt, come on, have a little like respect for the setting. Everybody wants to buy their things and get out of line, so like, the least you could do is make it not a horrendous experience for everyone. Yeah. And like, if I'm walking down a walkway, like, and like I see like someone else walking, like, I'll scoot to the side and let them walk, It's like, it's just basic courtesy. It's common sense. Like, we both want to walk, so like, I'll move out of the way, you move out of the way, and everyone can get on with their day. But it's like some people, like when they're walking with a group of friends, like a group of 4 or 5 people, they just take the whole walkway and they walk so unbearably slow. And it's like, come on, man. Like you see me coming. You see me coming, and it's like I'm just one guy. I just want to squeeze through, and then you guys can like continue talking. Like I don't care. But they just don't care at all. It's like they see you coming. Yeah, you wait for us. We own this walkway. It's just so cunty. And people that get out of elevators or any sort of doorways or archways, like a narrow passage, is like feels like common sense to let, or like public transportation. It feels like it's definitely common sense to just let the people out before you come in, but that's not how everyone approaches it. That's not how anyone approaches it. A lot of people just like, I want to barge in, and so they barge in. And it feels like a lot of people don't have manners. A lot of people don't have manners anymore. Maybe it's just the way I was raised. Like, I really am grateful for my parents in raising me the way I am. It feels like a lot of people's parents don't care. They don't raise their children well. I don't know what it is. I just feel a mass disconnect between my way of thinking and people's way of thinking. I just don't know what it is. Just don't know what it is. Maybe I'm being cynical. Maybe I'm overthinking too much. I don't know what it is. Like recently I'm in one of those moods where it's like I don't belong. No one gets me. I've never found anyone that I've particularly clicked with that's like they understand me so much. And I understand them so much. It's always like, man, I'll hang out with you, but I think there are some aspects of you that I find to be quite cunty in a way. Maybe I'm just being too unrealistic and overbearing, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I really did want this video to be like less than 10 minutes long, but it's probably closer to like half an hour now. It's like, yeah. That's horrible. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Kind of ties back into what I said a couple of videos ago. Like, recently I felt like there's no point in being alive. It's like I don't feel happy living. It's like, what's the point of being alive, man? I don't foresee myself living. I don't get it. There's no point being alive. This Hydra is in the wrong position. So, yeah, there's no point in being alive. I don't connect with anyone. No one feels like no one wants to connect with me. I don't know. It just feels like there's no point in being alive. That's horrible. Yes. That's the first win on this channel.